Welcome back to the Tripping Off podcast. Quick question. Have you ever sat with a trauma client, done everything right, followed the treatment plan, but something still wasn't reaching them?
Yes. Jesse and I spent our careers working with complex trauma and PTSD, and we kept hitting that same exact wall. That's what led us to hypnotherapy. It's genuinely changed the way we do therapy and the way that we work with our patients and clients.
We built trauma-focused hypnotherapy for people who want better tools for their work.
The course consists of 50 CEUs, fully self-paced, and it's certified with the Department of Health.
It's a protected title, not just another weekend certification course. And we offer group discounts if your team wants to train together. Link is in the description down below. Let's get into the episode. Welcome back to the Tripping Off podcast. In the middle of the love series, part 3 about communication. And I was thinking about this, and I had an insight to share with everybody. The most effective therapist you'll ever meet is the one that you sleep with. Because when you think about hypnotherapy, I mean, really, what is it? Like hypnosis and this subconscious suggestion, a lot of it is done through repetition, right? Like, what are the suggestions that we're repeating over and over again? And so, I think a lot of hypnotherapists overcomplicate the situation. Like when somebody's coming in and working on something, just go through that process again. Like you're repeating, you're safe, you're confident, you can live without that crutch, you can be independent without counting on somebody else. Like whatever it is, it's a lot of repetition. You got to get those reps in until the mind believes this new story that you're presenting it. Well,
it's a current experience of a future outcome.
Right. And so you got to experience it.
Also, side note, don't sleep with your clients.
Don't sleep with your clients. Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah. Just to be clear, that was a joke because your partner is probably the person that can hypnotize you the most.
Right. And that is the point of today's conversation. Your partner, whether they know it or not, will be the most powerful hypnotic voice in your life. They are involved in your life the most, the most trust, the most goals like combined together. Like there's a lot that rides on this. And so because the relationship is so intimate and the suggestions are so consistent and omnipresent, well, they're going to be hypnotizing you. So if you've got somebody who doesn't believe in you, who belittles you, who doesn't think that you're going to make it, those suggestions are going to impact you.
It's going to come out.
It's going to come out. And that's why they talk about, you are the summation of your 3 to 5 closest friends. If you ever heard that one. Those are the people that you're spending the most time with. And so you've got to think about these things. It's not a sign of weakness if somebody is influencing you. It's just a sign of the way the brain works. If you're surrounding yourself with negative influence, people who don't believe in you, well, it's not going to work. It's not because you're weak. It's just because that's how brains work.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about your partner.
I think that the most important thing that if you could take anything out of this, it just to reiterate what Jesse was saying is the more reps we get in on a topic, whether it be conscious or it's unconscious, the more we're going to be hypnotizable. We're going to create trances around that thing. We're going to create our own language. Everybody knows couples that even speak in their own language that other people can't understand. But also just like, remember there's that study about the horses that could read minds? And
I don't think
that were psychic. Yeah, there's this
I don't know if I do.
Guy years ago that had this horse that could he would like hide things behind his back, and the horse would pick which hand it was in, and it was like always right. And when they came to do like double blind studies on the situation to be like, let's see if horses really are psychic, they're like, no, they're picking up on unconscious thing because the horse trainer knew which hand had the prize in it, and even though you're standing there, the horse could still pick up on cues unconsciously because they knew each other so well.
So well.
Yeah, that the horse was able to pick it right every single time. And it was because of the unconscious cues that were coming from the trainer. But we see this also, like I know so many people that have the pet, the dog, the cat, that it's just like, I just know what the animal wants, and the animal identifies things that are like, I had an emotional support animal, a therapy dog. That the therapy dog could tell when somebody was getting ready to have a panic attack before the person could tell that they were about to have a panic attack because it was brewing in their unconscious mind.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and so I think it's really important that we start off this conversation and have the foundation being that those unconscious things come across. It's one thing to say, it's one thing to say to a partner, I believe in you. It's another thing to actually and wholeheartedly believe that. That's a totally different thing.
And the mind will filter out the conscious suggestion of, I believe in you, and believe the actual, subtle cues, right?
Faster.
I can say I believe in you, but if all my actions are showing that I don't believe in you, the mind doesn't care about the verbalization of I believe in you, which makes couples counseling and relationship stuff so difficult because it's like, I say nice things to you all the time. You might say nice things to me all the time,
right.
But what is the subconscious belief? What are the suggestions that I'm getting? Kind of like this horse. And it looks like it's totally mind reading, but it's not. It's picking up on the cues. We all pick up on those cues. It's the quickest way to divorce.
Yeah.
The quickest way to divorce is this communication stuff, and it's so often overlooked.
Yeah, and I think that the best example of that are bids for connection, or most importantly, bids for connection that go wrong.
Tell me more.
I see this all the time working with couples. It's an attempt to connect with partner, but that attempt is read by partner as an attack, or that attempt is read at a sense of contempt. Even the most simple ones, why didn't you take out the trash?
Very simple one.
It's
very common
so
one.
Simple, and that's a bid for connection to, hey, I feel like I'm upholding my side of our agreement, and it feels to me like you don't care about the relationship as much as I care about the relationship, because if you did care about the relationship, you would have done this thing that you agreed that you would do. But that comes out as, why didn't you take out the trash?
Yeah.
I had to tell you 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
And I think at the heart of it, it's an attempt to be like, I want to draw closer to you, but it comes out as pushing away.
Yeah.
We see this all the time. Oh God, great one that I deal with all the time is sex.
That's the way we started out today.
Yeah, so many men.
That conversation.
Yeah, there's a contempt that's built because their partner is seemingly, in their perspective, withholding sex from them.
Right.
But it comes across like, what's wrong with you? Or sometimes what's even worse is, what's wrong with me? And partner oftentimes doesn't see it like that. It's just like, well, I wasn't in the mood and I need to be in the mood and you didn't do all of these things to put me in the mood. And it's like, there's this attempt at the two people connecting, but we're talking about sex rather than connection. Sex can be a type of connection, but it needs to be read the same way from both people.
Yeah.
And then we get into this trance about, I'm not attractive, she's trying to pull a power play. Any number of other things that come across.
Oh goodness, yeah.
When it's just like, I want to connect with you, and I don't know other way. No, I don't know any other way to connect with you.
The communication stuff at its core is really simple. The problem that I see, which I'm hoping everybody listening to this can start to think and introspect about. You ever hired someone to be on your team or had somebody help you with a project, and because they've done a similar project or because they're really experienced, they really mess it up, right? Like if you're a parent and you have a routine and a system with your child, and then you drop your child off with somebody else to like, hey, mom, can you watch the kid? Mom's got her own system, and she's a very experienced mother because she raised you. And so then when you say something simple like, hey, bedtime's like this or bath time's like this, they don't hear it directly because they're adding all of their previous information to it as well. And they probably don't even realize they're doing it. They're just like, okay, I know what she meant. bedtime is at this time, that really means that these 15 things need to happen in this particular way.
Yeah.
But if you ever have like a teenage babysitter or like a young adult babysitter, they're so like, they're taking notes about everything. They don't like over-interpret anything. They're like, well, you said to do exactly this, so I did exactly that.
Yeah.
They take it straight forward. And that's, anybody who's hired team members knows this. Anybody who's like worked on school projects knows this. Sometimes the less experienced individual is actually the easier one to work with. That's what happens in relationships. Because when, you know, someone says, you didn't take out the trash, what's wrong with you? You interpret 15 things. They're resentful, they think I'm lazy, they don't think that I saw that the trash was busy, they don't understand how busy my work is. And it's like, no. First of all, if any of those things were present, because I can hear the pushback through the screen, they're like, no, but listen, my husband, my wife really is like that. Okay, if any of them are present, it is their responsibility to communicate them directly. But when somebody says, hey, why didn't you take out the trash? That's a simple question. Oh, well, I had a lot of work to do today, so that was lower on my priority list. Okay, but then you can hear it, right? You're like, well, you're saying I'm lower on your priority list? No.
Nope.
I'm saying taking the bag from the can to the curb was lower on my priority list than the billing documents that got messed up because of a situation this week. Right?
Are you using me as an example?
I might be using myself as an example. And so it's so funny, and you know, sometimes I sit in the chair and I'm like, what am I doing as a hypnotherapist and a counselor? Like, this seems so obvious. And then I have to remember, it is not simple to do what we do.
Yeah.
The goal is simple: clear, consistent, accurate communication.
Yeah.
But there's so many obstacles that get in the way. And even worse, sometimes, I would say many times, that cannot be solved yourselves. You need an outside person to say, hey, wait a minute. There are things you're adding to this conversation that you weren't aware that you were adding. And I have to call those out as the hypnotherapist and the therapist.
Yeah. And just to add to that too, I think that it's if we look at this from a slightly different perspective than the social construct that's out there, the reason why we get off on that communication is because of love and affection.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I think I know where you're going, but walk it all the way through.
Yeah, going all the way down to the underlying issues, that the reason why we jump from what was prioritized over doing the trash to I'm not important is because we care so much, and there's so much love and affection in that situation that we see love and affection manifest in even the simple things that we do.
Yeah.
If the cleaning people at the office don't take out a trash, I'm not taking that personally. I'm going to go to them and say, hey, you missed this. Can you work on it next time?
Right.
If that continues happening, I'm going to fire them. I didn't feel any way about that. That's just like what it is. Hey, this messed up. We tried to improve. You didn't improve. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that with my wife. I don't want to have that perspective with my wife. Hey, you didn't do this thing. So bye. Yeah. It's a simple transaction in one situation, and it's a very, very complicated love entanglement in the other one. And I want that those things to be entangled. With that said, that's how a trance is created, and that's how we live in a hypnotic state rather than being conscious enough to be able to communicate at the deepest level.
Yeah. Well, I might push back on it a little bit. I think you should fire your partner if they're not doing their job. But let's talk about what I mean by that being fired.
Yes.
Because I think the same thing is happening here. Everyone thinks like Jesse said, fire your partner. I did not say get a divorce and break up. Yeah, you interpreted that into it. It's like, well, I do want to fire my partner if that's a thing. And many times we have to fire our partner because our expectations need to shift and pivot. For example, before you have a child, there is a way that you do stuff, and a certain, you do these tasks and I do these tasks. When you have a child, that's going to shift. My partner should be fired, and I should be fired from certain responsibilities, and that should be adjusted. Now, when you fire somebody at work, you split ways business-wise.
Yep.
I'm just saying fired from a task, right? Before we get back to the episode, let me ask you something.
Have you ever sat with a trauma patient, done solid clinical work, followed the treatment plan, said the exact right thing, and you still felt like you were circling the actual problem?
Zach and I lived in that frustration for years. We were licensed, experienced, and trained professionals, still running into the same limitations time and time again. Hypnotherapy was not just a gimmick for us, it was the missing piece that allowed us to target these symptoms directly and work with the subconscious processes that were driving these symptoms.
And that's why we built trauma-focused hypnotherapy. It's a 50 CEU course that is fully self-paced, meant for medical professionals. It's certified with the Department of Health, and so it ties directly to your clinical license.
This is not a weekend badge. It's a protected title, allowing you to do the deeper clinical work necessary to work with those trauma clients. If you care about this field and you're passionate about the work we are doing in raising the standard of mental health care in this field, subscribing to the course does more than just give you the skills that we're talking about. It actually supports us in continuing this work, making this podcast, and teaching other professionals so they can help people live the lives they were always meant to live. The link is in the description down below. Join us and let's build something better together. Now back to the episode. So many things.
That's breaking the trance, and it's saying we built this trance because it needed to be there so that we can get more stuff done. And we can have automatic processes to get all of that stuff done so it just goes quickly. Nobody wants to come back from work every single day and then have to renegotiate all the tasks in the house.
No, gotta have some efficiency.
Yeah.
And ain't no time for that.
We set up rules, we set up unconscious suggestions, we set up unconscious reminders, we set up patterns. That's good until they become outdated. And that's what we're getting at is like that outdated contract needs to be fired.
Right.
Yeah, like get rid of it.
Yeah.
Bye. And I think that's the coolest part about having long-term relationships is that should happen. You know, like how many times have we had clients where a couple and they come in and they're just like, oh, my partner's just changed so much, I don't even know who he is.
All the time.
My response to that is like, good. Like, good.
Yeah, if they're not changing, that's a whole separate problem.
Would you like them to be the same person that they were at 20-something when you met them?
Uh-oh.
No.
Nope.
But with that comes, with what comes with that is the constant need to renegotiate that contract. And I think that's what we're talking about. I don't think. That's exactly what we're talking about when it comes to breaking those trances and having the clear communication about what's actually conveyed, which is work that I have to do on myself to know what I think is actually being conveyed in the trance, in the attachment, in all of those dynamics that get intertwined with my love and affection for my partner.
Yeah. You know what is the most exciting part of a stage hypnosis show?
Chickens.
Exactly. It's when somebody starts squawking like a chicken, or they start to see everybody else on stage as a space alien. They start freaking out, right?
Yeah.
You know, they quack like a duck. The most exciting part of hypnosis is a change in belief. When you can change what somebody believes or alter what somebody believes, it has the most incredible and dramatic results. And so if you want to have the most incredible and dramatic results with your relationship, change the way you believe about your partner. If you're automatically coming to conversations with your partner believing that they are mean to you, dismissive of you, disrespectful of you, well, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
But if you can approach those conversations with a belief, this person is on my team, they want what's best for me, and they want what's best for them, a lot of those conversations go easier, because then everything is just understood as a misunderstanding. It's like they're not trying to hurt me, they're not trying to manipulate me. They want the best, and their future happiness is tied up in my future happiness. If they want to be happy, I have to be happy. We're working on this together.
And just to go along with that, one thing that I think really breaks that trance in that moment when we're not believing that is, well, first we have to make that shift and say, like, maybe this person's intentions are positive.
Yeah.
Like maybe. And once we can shift that, something that really breaks down an argument is a very simple question. I was reminded about this just the other day, is looking at your partner and saying, identifying the tension, and then just saying a very, very simple question, which is, what is it? Two things, actually. What's the concept and what is the emotion that you're trying to convey to me that I am not understanding?
Yeah.
The concept and the emotion. And if that can come across cleanly and it can be received, I think that just breaks it all down, because it validates that statement.
Yeah.
It validates the I know that their intentions are correct, are for our benefit.
Right.
But why are we talking about the damn trash? And a lot of times what happens when you ask that, the immediate response is going to be something along the lines of, I don't feel seen. You don't listen to me.
Oh, it could be so many things.
And that's the concept. And so therefore I'm hurt.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you listen to me. Great. And now that's validating to the fact that your intentions are positive and that we're on a team together, if it can be received. I've done that in session with clients, and they're just like, one partner looks at the other one and says, what's the emotion and the concept that you're trying to convey to me? And they're like, that you're an idiot. And I'm like, oh, well.
Hold on a second. That's not a winning solution or strategy. But very telling of the trance that they are hypnotizing each other with.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm an idiot, there's no optimal or good outcome.
Yeah.
There's no good outcome when you're married to an idiot.
Yeah.
But if you believe that someone's making a mistake, if you believe that someone just doesn't have enough information to make the right choices, then you can work on that, right? But if that's your belief, that your partner is an idiot, well, that's not a relationship that's going to work.
Yeah.
Well, not a relationship you'd be in. That's toxic.
I've had so many moments like that where the second partner just opens up and it says things like, well, you're always working and I feel like the house is mine and you don't care about it. How can I trust you in big things that are going on inside of my head when I can't trust you with doing little things?
Yeah.
Like so many statements like that come after that question that we're just like, oh shit, I didn't realize that the trash was a metaphor for how I don't pay attention to you. Or any number of other things, but I got so many examples of that. Just breaks the trance like that.
Yeah. Because now we understand what we're actually talking about and what the suggestions are, making the unconscious conscious. And this may be a good time to kind of add a caveat that the things we're talking about today only apply in a healthy relationship. Not a perfect relationship. All relationships are messy, but there are some foundational non-starters that we have to say in order to have these kinds of conversations. If you're with somebody who is abusive, if you're with somebody who is manipulative, if you're with somebody who lies and says one thing but then contradicts himself and says another and tells you that you're crazy for getting things confused, none of these things are going to need to be implemented. That's a non-starter.
It's a really good point.
I think some people can work really, really hard. They're like, if I just improve my communication enough, I can save this relationship. And that I also got to bring that subconscious belief into the conscious conversation here. There is no amount of work that you can do that can save you or your partner from a toxic relationship. It's going to take both.
So maybe what you're saying is that healthy is not necessarily doing all of the right things, but healthy is a desire to work on the relationship. And toxic is at least one person not wanting to grow.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that what marriage and a relationship is? It's commitment.
No. I think a marriage is a lot of things, but
well,
I think
the ideal of marriage, or
right.
maybe illuminate that one. I think ideally it's supposed to be a commitment of like, you might get fired from the job, right? And that might be the healthiest thing for our relationship.
Yeah.
But it's a commitment of, well, I'm going to be with you forever.
Yeah.
I'm going to commit to you forever. We're going to work on this, because by learning how to be the kind of person that can love my partner well, and my partner making the same commitment to be the kind of person who can love me well, they're going to grow into individuals that were better than they ever could have on their own. And that's the way that I think about it. You know, I don't know what our relationship's going to look like in the future. I'm certain it's going to change. But my commitment is not to the pattern that we've established today. My commitment is to a future shared together.
Yeah.
Because just in the same way that becoming a dad has made me into a better person than I was before, being a husband has made me into a better person than I was before, because I've had to grow into the kind of person who can be a good husband. I've had to grow into the kind of person who can be a good dad. I would never have been able to grow into that if it wasn't for the commitment to the responsibility, voluntarily, of being something bigger.
So the healthy relationship then becomes a commitment to walking down this path with you.
Yeah.
Rather than even a destination.
Yeah. It's very true.
Not to be too cliche.
Yeah, it's sometimes the best truths are a little cliche, aren't they? Yeah. That was my last big point.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
I think that's really important, is if everybody could take from this, in summation, pay attention to those trances that become outdated.
Yeah.
And I think that we get in tune with the trances that have been outdated when we pay attention to how our attachments to those old trances are affecting our emotions today. And a good sign of how that's happening are the emotions of contempt, the emotions of frustration, of attachment to a pattern of doing something rather than a desire to negotiate about that thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, contempt is a big one. If there's contempt, it's probably because there's an attachment to an old way of doing things. I can't think of a situation where that's not the case.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think maybe just to put it simply, as like a task or a homework for this week, as you listen to this podcast, take a subconscious inventory. Walk around your house and ask yourself, what is that suggesting? Right? And when you say something, ask, what is that suggesting? Or when you do something, say, what is that suggesting?
That's
right?
a great one.
Walk into your bedroom and take inventory. Is it inviting? Is it a place to connect? Is it just a mess of clothes and we don't want the company to see this stuff, so put it in the bedroom? What is that suggesting? We care more about the appearances for company than we do creating a space for us to actually connect intimately. Oh, God. When you come home and you get right to, helping with the kids, you forget to take a moment, stop, give a hug and a kiss. Hey, I'm home. What is that suggesting? The kids are more important than my partnership. Oof, I don't want to be doing that. They're subtle, man, but they stack up in a million ways that you can never dig yourself out of if you're not diligent about them as they're piling on. And so, I think that'll be my homework for myself. Maybe it'll be for yours too. Ask yourself, what is that suggesting? And let me know what you come up with down in the comments below.
It's great.
Yeah. We'll see you next week for the 4th and final installment of the Love series. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you got suggestions for the next one. And let us know what you come up with. Until then, thanks for being along. See you next time. Bye.